What's up, sports fans, and welcome back to Rival Talk. As always, your host Christian here, and I'm joined by recently out of Facebook prison, Marcus. So, Marcus, how are you enjoying the free life again?
It's great to be back. That 24 hours was rough.
I bet. So, just you learned your lesson now, not to call anyone mean names like a loser or anything.
Yeah, I literally was in Facebook jail for using the word loser. So that's true. Yep, so don't do it.
Zuck got you there. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
All right, well, training camps are obviously in full swing. We got preseason games coming up. We obviously had the Hall of Fame game. I didn't really get a chance to watch too much of it, but just good to have football back. I did watch some of the Hall of Fame stuff. I watched Manning's Hall of Fame speech. That was great and made me feel old watching him give his Hall of Fame speech, but that was pretty good. And there was a lot of comments out there, and I tend to agree. He could make a good commissioner one day if he chose to go for it, I feel like.
Oh, for sure. Payne would be really good at that. And I don't know if this is kind of off subject, but I saw a meme that will make you also feel old. It was Calvin Johnson had a Hall of Fame career and retired and was inducted into the Hall of Fame all during Tom Brady's career. He was drafted after Tom Brady, and Tom Brady's still playing. That's just insane.
Yeah, that is crazy. I saw that too. That was something else. Tom Brady's had about 2 or 3 Hall of Fame careers.
Yeah, he really has.
To feel even older, next year's nominees we got include Andre Johnson. I don't think Andre Johnson's a first ballot, but he should make it.
Yeah, he'll get in at some point.
DeMarcus Ware, Anquan Bolden. I always hated Bolden. I wasn't a fan of Bolden, but he should be a Hall of Famer eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
And Steve Smith Sr. I do think Steve Smith deserves to be first ballot. He changed the game as a smaller wide receiver, so I feel like he deserves first ballot.
Yeah, and absolutely did. I would agree with you.
Yeah, and Devin Hester, that's easy. He's definitely first ballot. So
100%.
So yeah, those sure make me feel old next year. So it's
great.
A weird point in life.
Imagine how I feel.
Yeah, I can imagine. In other news, Josh Allen got his payday. I know you're a fan of his now after not being much a fan of his. So 6 years, $258 million with $150 million guaranteed. So he got his bank. I saw something that said he's actually, I believe, made more money now in 4 years than Tom Brady has his entire career. So that was something.
Yeah,
else.
I saw that meme too. And if it's true, that's also crazy. But it just is what it is. The times, they change. So.
Yeah. But, deserved for him. I think he'll be leading the Bills to Super Bowl this year. So the Dolphins, they were able to restructure Xavier Howard's contract after issues there. They just, I think, front-loaded more money. I think that's what they did or something.
Yep.
Will Lutz, big news for the Saints. Will Lutz had core surgery, and he's out. The timetable, he's out 8 weeks to several months. So for kickers, I'm pretty sure that's going to be several months. So he's done. That's a big loss for the Saints. So not much of the news outside of that, unless I'm forgetting something. Marcus, do you have anything to add in?
No, I don't know of any other large news that I've heard. Like you said, the Saints are just, they're not getting hammered with injuries, but the whole offseason, they're just getting hammered with things happening to their roster, with retirements and injuries. And just
Michael Thomas apparently wants out now. So
yeah, well, I can't imagine why. He's got Jameis Winston and glorified running back throwing to him. So
bit of a downgrade from Drew Brees, just a
little bit.
All right, well then we'll just get right into it. So. You got your Niners coming up. I'm not entirely sure who they're playing their first preseason game, but if you want to just give, it's not much a preview for a preseason game, but just talk about what you're looking for, and
Well, it's a huge, big-time Super Bowl matchup against the Chiefs.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, wow. I don't get too into preseason, but I will be watching pretty intently this year just because I'm pretty sure Trey Lance is going to play quite a bit this entire preseason. So I'll be looking to see how he looks because all I got to go by is the practice reports, and everything is glowing, of course, from practice reports. So
yeah, of course.
But that's you got to take that with a grain of salt. Other news for the 49ers, I think I'm going to have to pretty much retire my hype train for Jalen Hurd pretty quick here. Apparently he might have a knee injury again, it's very unfortunate that it doesn't look like his career is ever going to get off the ground. So I can't really talk about him anymore. I think officially DK Metcalf is better than Jalen Hurd, for real.
You heard it here first, everyone.
Yep. Yeah, besides that, we've had some injuries at safety position. That's about the only position that's got hammered a little bit.
Yeah, I saw you guys sign HaHa Clinton Dix today, so I was curious
just got him today,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine signing. If he makes the roster, that's not a bad thing. He doesn't cover, but the guy he's replacing that he's getting signed because Jaquiski Tartt got hurt, and he's not really a cover guy either. So we don't really ask our strong safeties to cover. So if HaHa does end up playing at all this year, he'd be a perfect fit for what we want him to do. But we also lost our backup free safety for the season earlier in the off season with a torn Achilles. So that's Travarius Moore, who was really good. So it's just safety's just taking a little bit of a hit. We still got some dudes. We got plenty of depth there, but we just can't afford to keep losing guys. And hopefully that doesn't happen. But so far this offseason has been a lot better than last year's offseason at this point. But that can change pretty quick.
Yeah, it seems like there must be some sort of bad omen out there in San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh, I will say this. My boy Brandon Ayuk is getting pretty much, people are saying he's easily the best wide receiver on the team, and that's even over Debo. He's just from what everybody's saying, that he's taking a huge step in this offseason, and I cannot wait to see him on the field. He's pretty much my favorite player. That's close between him and George Kittle, but I cannot wait to see him out there, and I'm going to be drafting him, so stay away from him.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. I've had my eyes on too.
Other than that, I don't really have anything else. The third string quarterback will be the battle between Josh Rosen and Nate Sudfeld.
Oh yeah, I forgot you guys had Rosen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see if you can get that ever elusive Super Bowl revenge on the Chiefs in the first preseason game. I remember the Broncos. Hey, back in preseason in 2014, the Broncos got their revenge against the Seahawks in the first preseason game, so they were all over it. So.
And then it's like it's all evened up after that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just cancels out the Super Bowl victory. So.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right. Well, for the Seahawks, they'll be taking on the Raiders. Normal thing. They always play pretty much AFC West, and the Vikings always play in the preseason, but I don't think they play the Vikings this year in the preseason. So, but yeah, so they got the Raiders first in Las Vegas. I believe that'll be the first time there's actually be fans in that stadium, so that'll be cool. Three things we'll be watching for in this game: the first team offense, the tempo with Russell Wilson calling plays. I've been reading that in this more up-tempo offense they're running, that Russell's going to have more of that control, and there's going to be a lot of plays installed into audibles and more of that up-tempo. I believe Tyler Lockett described it as basically what their 2-minute offense has been over the last recent years. Just instead of 15 to 20 plays in it, it's about 50 to 60 plays. So really expanding that no-huddle, that up-tempo, which is perfect, because that's where Russell really thrives the most. And when he has just the full reins, this is what Seahawks fans out here have been clamoring for years. So excited to see that finally. Then I'll be looking at the running back battle. We're still trying to figure out the backup running back. We got Rashad Penny versus Collins versus Dallas. Penny. So I was at the Seahawks scrimmage on Sunday. Penny didn't play at all. I don't know what's going on with Penny, if he's dealing with more injuries. If so, that really sucks for him. But he wasn't out there on Sunday. Alex Collins, he looked really good. Right now, I think I'd have to say Alex Collins might be winning that job for the backup running back. DJ Dallas also looks good, and he's also got the advantage of being a really good pass catcher out of the backfield. So I'll be looking for that, see how those three running backs do. I'm not expecting Chris Carson to really play at all in this game, if really at all in the preseason. You got to be careful with him being injury prone. And I'll be looking at the cornerbacks, Trey Brown and Ahkello Witherspoon. Now, of course, take with a grain of salt, praise coming out of training camp, but Ahkello Witherspoon has really been getting a lot of hype and praise, and some have been even saying that he could possibly be taking over the number one cornerback position from DJ Reed. So, been hearing great things about him. I'll also be looking at Trey Flowers. Been hearing good things about Flowers, but we're at a point now. Flowers coming in his fourth year. He's got to show it in the regular season. So, so those are things I've been looking for. And like I said, I went to that mock game scrimmage on Sunday. I got a couple notes from there. I'll run through real quick. Going back to the offense, it's kind of Rams-esque. There's a good amount of pre-snap movement. I had DK moving around the line pre-snap, Lockett, so a lot of kind of masking things, getting players out of certain matchups. So I think that'll be good, especially when the Hawks do play the Rams, that they can move Metcalf around to get him away from Ramsey. I think that'll be good. The play action is definitely a staple of this offense. I know they were talking about with Shane Waldron coming into the season, but you can definitely see the play action is a staple. And, I mean, Russell out there had full control of it, so it was looking pretty good. The first teams with this offense, it's all about precision, you can tell, and they were pretty sharp and precise out there. So, again, it is training camp, obviously, so take it with a grain of salt, but that does look pretty good so far.
Seems like a bit of a copycat, not for the Rams, but I know the 49ers are number one in play action plays and pre-snap movement plays in the NFL. So everybody's just trying to replicate the old Kyle Shanahan offense.
Well, hey, if it works, that's what I've been wanting the Seahawks to implicate that for a while now. So now they finally have a guy who's going to do it. So I'm happy to see that.
It's unfortunate. It's too bad.
It's very fortunate. All right, next guy I've been keeping an eye on, again, just mentioned him, Ahkello Witherspoon. And Marcus, I know you love this guy, and I know you hope he has great success out here. Watching him, keep an eye on him. He has some great coverage, and he had a really nice pass breakup on a clutch third down in the red zone during the mock game. He looks aggressive and smart out there, too. A couple things kind of reminiscent of certain Richard Sherman out there. So I know he played with him the last few years. You could kind of see some things that maybe he picked up from Sherman, so... kind of looking forward to that. Like I said, Witherspoon, take it with a grain of salt, but he's been looking pretty good out there.
He's got all the skill in the world. I saw it many times. He seems to. Well, here he would run into a mental block and then kind of crumble. But for like the first few games every year, he was like our best cornerback, and then something happened and it would crumble. So if he just can get over that, he's going to be really good. And I hope it doesn't happen for your sake, for the Seahawks' sake, but for his sake, it would be nice. I don't hate the guy. I like him. So.
Yeah, and then just as long as he stays healthy, too, because like I mentioned in previous videos, Pete Carroll, if he is really good at one thing, he's pretty much a defensive back whisperer. So, so I
fully expect him to be very good for you, just because it's already happened many times. I won't even be surprised. It's going to happen. So, congratulations.
Well, thank you for letting us have him. It's very nice of you.
Yeah.
I've already kind of talked about the backup running backs. Like I said, Penny didn't play. Collins looked explosive. Collins had a really nice juke move too. Broke some ankles out there. Dallas, he was looking good when plays broke down and Russell was scrambling around. He looked good out there, kind of getting open, finding open spots, and make some catches on some breakdowns out there. Now, Freddie Swain, so the number 3 wide receiver position is one to keep an eye on as well because Dwayne Eskridge, the rookie who was supposed to have it coming out, everyone thought he's been dealing with some sort of injury. He's been on the PUP list. From what I understand, it's nothing serious, but he hasn't practiced at all yet. So Freddie Swain, I feel like this is a guy who's going to be making a name for himself, and he's been having a pretty good camp too, and he had a good mock game scrimmage. So he could and should be the number 3 wide receiver. He had a nice catch over the middle in the red zone and broke a couple tackles for a touchdown. So Freddie Swain, that's a name to keep an eye on. He should get plenty of playing time this preseason. I'm sure Metcalf and Lockett won't be playing that much. The pass rush
last year, Freddie Swain.
Yeah, he was a rookie last year, I think, out of Florida. Okay. I want to say. So he put up some, not gaudy numbers, but decent numbers for a rookie. So he had some big plays here and there. The pass rush is looking really good. I'd say Carlos Dunlap looks a lot bigger in person than I expected. LJ Collier, I saw him multiple times blowing right by protection all day, so he was looking really fast and explosive. Poona Ford, fan favorite out here. Poona Ford had a fumble recovery on a scoop and score, so that was fun to see. It's always fun to see a big man touchdown. And yeah, Dunlap, like I mentioned, Dunlap, he looks even better. I mean, he's what, 33, 32, something like that, I want to say.
Yeah.
For that age, he's looking explosive. He's looking really fast. So I think you can expect another big year from this defense changed dramatically once we got him, and I think he's going to just lead the charge again this year. So it's good to have him back. And then tight ends. This was interesting for me. Tight ends, I've been expecting more involvement with tight ends this year with this new offense, but they really weren't involved that much, at least on Sunday in the mock game. Disley didn't get many looks. I think he only had one catch. Gerald Everett, he drew a pass interference on a deep ball. It was a ball he probably should have caught still, but dropped. He was interfered with, but probably still could have caught it. And then Colby Parkinson is the one that got the most action. He had some nice catches over the middle, but other than that, it wasn't much tight end involvement, so I don't know if that was planned or what's going on there. So that'll be something to keep an eye on as well.
Did you see former Nebraska ball great Michael Jacobson out there?
Yes, I remember hearing he had a catch. And I was like, "Who the heck is that?"
Yeah, former Nebraska basketball forward, Michael Jacobson. I saw you guys signed him. I was like, that is weird.
He did have a catch, so I remember his name being.
All right.
So he probably won't make the team, but because Parkinson, Disley, and everyone ahead of him are all great. So, but
yeah,
good story for good old Nebraska out there.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what I got on the Seahawks. Some notes I had from the scrimmage, and so we'll have more to talk about our teams after the first preseason game, of course, but not much to talk about right now. So we'll get now into our predictions. So this episode we'll be focusing on the AFC and NFC South. So Marcus, why don't you take it away and tell me what you got for the AFC and NFC South divisions?
All right, I'll go worst to first here. I got Jaguars in fourth. AFC South, I got Jaguars in fourth at 2-15. I think it's not going to look good for them.
Not a believer in Lawrence or Urban Meyer?
Well, it's
Tim
not so much
Tebow?
Lawrence. I think he'll be all right, but I don't know how good it'll be year one. And I don't think the Urban thing is going to work in the NFL, but we'll see about that. I just don't like their talent just overall on the roster. It's fine, but man, I don't see it. I don't see it being all that great for them, I guess. You could easily prove me wrong, but we shall see. And then third, I got the Texans at 5-12, and I'm assuming that Deshaun Watson will play part of the season. I don't know. It was kind of tough to pick their record. Is he going to play 0 snaps? Is he going to play all the snaps? Either way, their team isn't very good, so I don't think they're going to win very many games. So I just went 5-12, assuming that Deshaun Watson plays a little bit of this year, I guess. Let's see. Second place, I got the Colts at 10-7, and honestly, I almost feel better about them if they find something in a Jacob Eason or a Sam Ellinger. I think Carson Wentz isn't very good, so the more he plays, maybe the less wins they have. But they do have a really good roster, so if they can mask their quarterback problems, they got a good coach.
Good defense.
They should be able to, very good. They should be able to win a decent amount of games, no matter who's playing quarterback, if they can kind of just cover that up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then number one, I got the Tennessee Titans. I got them at 12-5. I really like their roster top to bottom, besides maybe the pass rush isn't anything to write home about, and the secondary is average. But they're a ball control team. They're going to mask some of those defensive problems just by holding on to the ball and running it down your throats.
Yeah.
Love their coaching staff. Like their quarterback. Love the wide receivers. Offensive line is great. They should win that division, I would say.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. So you want me to do NFC South now, or are you going to?
I'll do the AFC South real quick. All right, so. Yeah, so I got the Texans all the way to the bottom at 2-15. I don't think Watson's going to be playing at all. I don't know. I think either they trade him or something happens. I don't think if he plays, maybe he plays 1 or 2 games. And even if he plays, there's nothing there that screams talent to me anywhere outside of him. So, yeah, I got them at 2-15. That might even be generous. They could even just win 1 game. The Jaguars, I'm kind of opposite of you. They've got some talent around it. They have some good offensive weapons, and they're not going to put it together, obviously, right away this year. But I got them at 7-10. I think there's some promise there, so it'll just be a steady growth for them. Then I got the Colts also at 10-7. This whole thing is tricky with Carson Wentz with the injuries already happening. Honestly, it probably would be better for them if they went with Eason or Ellinger. I was a fan of Eason. I loved him when he was at UW for that 1 year. He has a heck of an arm. So just some of the decision making was questionable. But Colts, like I said, they got a great coach and a great defense, so they should be able to get to at least 10 wins. And then the Titans, I got the Titans at 11-6. That defense, like I said, defense is still questionable, but they are going to score points, and defense doesn't have to be too much of a question when you play the way the Titans do, and you can just control the game with Derrick Henry back there. And, now they got Julio, so their wide receivers are stacked. So they should be able to put up a pretty fair amount of points throughout the season. So they might even have the number 1 offense this season, you could say. So, both got the Titans taking that one. So, yeah. All right, now on to the NFC South. So take it away.
NFC South, and fourth place I got the Panthers at 6-11, and I guess mostly the issue I have with the Panthers, obviously, is their quarterback position. I don't know if Darnold is going to be able to take a step or not. I don't know if he has that ability. I do like his natural ability, but I don't know if he's been ruined beyond repair by the Jets. So, and the quarterback is everything in the NFL. They got some decent talent in the roster though. Outside of that, so I do think they'll get to a decent amount of wins. So I just went with 6-11. Third place, I have the Saints at 9-8. The quarterback position is a problem for them, in my opinion, and I don't know what's happening with Michael Thomas. Let's see here. I know there were some other issues I had with them. Well, I guess you said Lutz. I mean, it's a kicker, but it's important.
Mm-hmm.
That could lose a couple close games for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got them at 9-8. I just think they'll be just barely over 500. That's my prediction for them. Second place, I got the Falcons. I like the head coaching hire. The 10-7. I really like the head coaching hire they made. I'm a big fan. He comes from the Tennessee school of offense, and I'm a big fan of that offense. They got a good quarterback. He's old, but Matt Ryan is still a good quarterback. Running game should be a little improved. I know they just brought Devontae Freeman back. He's going to be probably second or third string, but they got some good wide receivers. They got a good tight end. Offensive line is decent. Defense is young and not terrible. I just could see them being kind of a surprise team this year, I guess. Okay. And then, of course, number one, I have the Buccaneers. I have them at 13-4. They bring back their entire roster. They're stacked top to bottom.
Yeah,
That's pretty much all you need to say.
Yeah, nothing much to explain there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got the Falcons in fourth, 6-11. I understand what you're saying, but it's just, to me, it's still the Falcons. They're still, they blow games. New coach or not new coach. I don't think much has changed on that defense. I do like Kyle Pitts. I think he's going to have a great first year at the tight end position. I'm eyeing him in fantasy, so you stay away from him. I like the head coaching hire too, but I think it's going to take a little longer for it to work itself out. So I still got the Falcons down there, 6-11, like I said. Then I got the Saints at 7-10. They have a great defense still, but the whole quarterback position is just a huge problem. Jameis and Taysom, they're not the guys for their. Jameis has the talent to be a really good quarterback, but we haven't seen it yet. So,
nope.
Yeah, so I just got them at 7-10, third place. Now, for me, my surprise team in this division is the Panthers. I think they're sneaky. I understand the quarterback position is a bit of a question, but I think a new area could be good for Darnold. New coach under new offense could be good for Darnold, especially having the best running back in the league behind him. He's got some solid receivers too. That defense still is a work in progress, but I got the Panthers in second at 9-8. And then, of course, the Buccaneers running it back, 13-4. Nothing to talk about there.
And I actually, with your Panthers pick, I was teetering on second place to fourth place for them, and it's basically solely on Sam Darnold. So if he has a decent season, I will not be shocked at all if they have a winning record this year.
Definitely. All right, so that brings us to our last segment, which this week, we're doing our top 5 this week. We're doing top 5 running backs. So remember, just got to list them. If you have an honorable mention too, you can list that too. And no need to explain, defend, and no questions from either of us. So have at it.
Okay, honorable mention. Going with a sneaky honorable mention in Antonio Gibson, the Washington running back. They want to use him like they used Christian McCaffrey in Carolina, so he could have a big year. So now my top 5 after that, we got 5, Nick Chubb, 4, Dalvin Cook, 3, Alvin Kamara, 2, Christian McCaffrey, and 1, Derrick Henry.
Okay. All right. Well, my honorable mention, I've got Raheem Mostert. When he's healthy,
my God.
when he's healthy, he's really good.
I actually wanted to put him as my honorable mention, but I thought I was going to sound stupid, and now I wish I would have done that.
Well, Yeah, I'm the Seahawks fan here, and I'm doing your job for you. So
I was that close to doing it. I'm kind of pissed off that I didn't do it, but that's fine. I like your pick.
well, yeah, when he's healthy, he's one of the top backs.
It's true.
And then my other honorable mention, coming back from injuries, but when he's healthy, he still is one of the best. Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Now, number 5, I've also got Nick Chubb at number 5. I think he's underrated. Number 4, Alvin Kamara. Number 3, Dalvin Cook. Number 2, Derrick Henry. And number 1, my boy, CMC, Christian McCaffrey. To me, when he's healthy, McCaffrey, you can say what you want about Derrick Henry, but McCaffrey's he's Christian McCaffrey. So.
Yep. I mean, I pretty much agree with you. I didn't know if you're going all around running back, yeah, he's probably better than Derrick Henry. There's something about Derrick Henry's bruising style right ahead that I just had to put him number 1.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, yeah, there we have it. So, yeah. Well, thanks for joining. I'm glad you were able to break out of Facebook prison and just in time to be here for this. So, just behave yourself. Don't get zucked again.
I think if I get zucked again, it's probably more than a day. So I better be careful.
Yeah, gotta be careful. All right, well, thanks for coming on again, and we'll talk to you next time.
Always a pleasure. Talk to you next time.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, so before we go, just a reminder, still giving away the $50 Amazon gift card when I get to 50 subscribers, so be sure to share this video, share the channel, however you want to share, whatever you want to do. Just share it any social media place where you're able to tag me. And yeah, once we get to 50 subscribers, we'll be giving this away in a drawing. So there you have it. First week of preseason coming up. Looking forward to it. Football's back, so let's get going. So please like and share the video. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter. And go Hawks!